You can say what you want about me being a single mother or a baby mama, if you will, and trust me, I have heard it all. I once had a girl in college tell me that we were not the same because I was pregnant and set to be a baby mom, and she was engaged and set to be a wife, and she had the ring to prove it, and there was a reason for that. And I think about that girl often. According to Facebook, I think she's like 3 kids deep now. I just want her to know if she's watching this. While your kids are in your house tearing it up and getting on your nerves, you're going to be doing laundry every 5 minutes and the dishes the other 10. And that man is sitting on your Ashley furniture couch putting a dent in it and sucking up all your O2. My kiddo's going to be in Florida living her best life all summer. And I'm going to be here in my house on an acre that's clean and quiet for 4 whole months. And with all my extra disposable income because I only have 1 kid, I'm going to be jet setting on a flight every other weekend, living my best life. And yeah, I'm not married yet, but I do have somebody that comes over and sluts me out whenever I want him to. He leaves with a pocket full of snacks. I leave happy, and we don't talk other than that, and I'm very okay with that. Nobody getting on my nerves and leaving socks next to the dirty hamper, even though it's right there. But, I hope your life is as charmed as mine. I hope that ring is real snug.
The fact that she goes over and she still follows this person on Facebook, even if it's true, because a lot of times people be creating made up villains in their minds in order to be able to justify the way that they do things, or they just cap for social media. But even if it is true, the fact that she is following this person on a regular basis in order to try to figure out and compare shows you that deep down inside, regardless of whatever it is that they selling you on social media, they not really happy with their situation. They do feel some type of way about it, and they put this information out on the internet as far as being a single mother, and then don't like the response to it because the reality of it is that it is bad for the culture, it's bad for society, it's bad for the children. They are the ones that then suffer as a result of the decisions. And all I heard in this entire conversation was me, 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 which is usually the mindset of a person that is a single mother. Not all mothers, obviously. If it don't apply, let it fly. But all I heard was me, 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 me. The benefit of having a household is that it's a balance for the kids. If you choose to have children, which is usually a selfish decision to an extent, then you have to do everything that you can in order to put the kid in a position to be successful. And that includes raising them in a two-parent married household that allows for them to have the balance between masculinity and femininity, not sending them off for the summer and then shipping them back like they expats back to your house in order for you to parent them long enough so that they can grow up and then eventually get out your house so you'll have time to get your guts beat in. That's not the definition of a parent. That's not the definition of a strong culture, a strong society. The kids don't deserve to be second class citizens, which is why we advocate for both the mother and the father to be in their lives. We know data statistics show us that they're less likely to go to jail, much more likely to graduate college with a good degree, and that degree will also be in a space to where they can make a lot of money while at the same time not having a whole lot of student loans because they had to use it in order to survive. You're much more likely to be successful. You're much less likely to join a gang. You're much less likely to need therapy. And again, that doesn't mean that all households that have two parents in them are 100% perfect. It just means that you have a better chance. And also, it means that you're willing to work through your situations and circumstances, and you made better decisions by choosing better, and not only choosing better, but ensuring that you were married before you had the children so that you can also give them a much greater chance to be successful. I'm not buying when people come on here and then they sell you on, oh yeah, I can just get my guts beat in and then they don't care anything about me. That's not love. That's not appreciation. That's not growth. That's not showing and giving your children an example of what they need to be treated like and who they need to be selecting as a person that they marry. And I don't know if it's a guy or girl, and none of that matters because I'm only going to speak to whatever it is that the content creator said. And I'm always going to put a link in the description back to the content creator, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. Um, the whole idea is that the best way that you teach somebody is by showing them. My daughter, right, my 17-year-old daughter, is able to accurately see how it is that I support her mother on a regular basis so that when she finally gets married and hopefully she makes very strong decisions throughout her life, and I think that she is, because she has up to this point. Um, she is able to hopefully select a man that more accurately reflects her father. And more importantly, she comes to me and says, Dad, what do you think about this person? Should I even be open to or involved in this at all whatsoever? Should I even be friends with this person? Because she has an extra set of eyes that can look at it from a lens or a view from a masculinity perspective that allows for me to vet more effectively. And that's the thing that we're missing in our households. That's the thing that you're missing within the culture. That's the thing that you're missing in America. We're incentivizing people to break up their homes or to have children under wedlock and then be baby mamas, instead of incentivizing people to keep their families together so that they don't become interdependent on the government in order for them to survive. Now, I'm not saying that she's interdependent on the government in order for her to survive. That's not what I'm saying, or whatever. I'm speaking to the idea of being a single mother. There are some great single mothers, but it still doesn't mean that they're not missing some critical things that their children are going to have to overcome by not having a strong family structure and household to where the father is participatory on a daily basis in their life. No, it is never good for a child to be shipped off to be with their father so that you can regularly have peace and then get your guts beat in. The regular family usually doesn't have to necessarily be chaotic just because you have three children, because you have the structure, right? You have rules in place. You also have that stability, and more importantly, we don't have latchkey in places like daycares that then input their values into our children, instead of the woman being able to be a stay-at-home mother so that you work as a team, and then she's also the beneficiary of the man's greatness, meaning that, right, they're working together. She doesn't have a limited amount of funds, or a limited amount of availability for her to be able to do whatever it is that she want to do on a regular basis. That hopefully is a good thing, but she is and they are in a great space. And so, again, the fact that she's following these people online to compare and contrast, like it's a Jordan documentary, to try to figure out whether or not this person is doing well and drawing on the walls or whatever like that, is stupid. It's petty. It means that they're actually still taking up real estate in their mind. She isn't, it doesn't seem, even though she got the smile on, the fake smile, doesn't seem like she's happy with her circumstance. And she says she's not married yet, but a man that doesn't really care for her comes in and beat her in her guts and then leave with snacks, and he moves along his way. This is not a way that we need to be raised in society. This is not a way that we need to be being examples for the next generation. This is degenerate behavior. And she has glowing skin and a pretty face and great hair. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean anything, because two things can be true at the same time. I would love, and my goal, not even my goal, I would just say love to see more families together and more circumstances to where we're proactively making smart decisions and not trying to justify the bad decisions, but at the same time, be an example for the people that come after us, because the children are the ones that usually suffer for the decisions that we make. And it is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we try to justify bad behavior. We try to justify being whores and being out here in the streets as men, and the women as whores, and we think that that's cute and we think that that's going to make sense. I don't. I don't think it's going to make sense at all. I think it's going to continue to create an environment that breeds degenerate behavior, that people then justify why they need a therapist later in life because they never had certain things that would have prepared them to be stable human beings and adults and be able to live full lives without any of the things that they should have had their parents stayed married and together. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.